The Rich Brooks Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, along with the coach, and welcome to this week's show. We'll take a look back at the California game, have a halftime feature with one of the players, and preview what is in store next for the Ducks after a bye week as they travel to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. Coach, my folks always told me that there would be days like this to everybody, especially in athletics, and unfortunately it came in Berkeley against the Bears.
Well, Todd, I have had a lot of days like this, unfortunately, in my career, but I thought that I was past an ugly performance like we put on at Berkeley. I felt we had a better football team, but we just keep on giving our opponent great opportunities. I guess I felt like I should have had the Santa Claus costume on today like I had at the Freedom Bowl Christmas party. We give our opponent 6 turnovers and a blocked punt. We ought to get beat.
We're set for the first quarter. Oregon won the toss of the coin, elected to defer its decision until the second half, and so California will get the football to start the game. Perfect day as far as the weather conditions. Temperature in the mid-70s, just a slight breeze coming out of the northwest.
Nice high kick by Tommy Thompson and excellent coverage by Coker and Rockwell, getting down there to tackle him on the 19-yard line.
So after a Cal first down, the defense comes in and does a nice job.
Nice tackle by Eric Castle. Nice to see him use those shoulder pads. Comes up, counter play, breaks it all the way outside. Batista forces Chapman wide, and Castle sticks him with a nice tackle for no gain.
3rd down and 9 for Cal at their own 36.
Pulowski scrambles, but is tackled by Terrell Edwards after a gain of about 1. You can see we're in our hawk package here with the 6 defensive backs. Terrell Edwards in on the rush end spot now. Number 49 was unable to play last week and gets help there from Marcus Woods. The ball was ruled down.
So the Ducks get the football back, their first offensive possession of the game. First play, little out pattern to Anthony Jones.
Thrown a little bit behind Anthony, but he makes a catch for about a 4-yard gain. Pick up only about 2 on a little running play to Burwell.
It's 3rd down and only 3.
Under pressure, off the corner, we complete it to Burwell. You can see they're in a blitz. They're bringing 36. We don't pick him up. Salisbury throws nicely over him, throws behind Burwell, but complete for the first down.
Sean had a good day receiving the football, had almost 80 yards in receptions. That's the play you were talking about.
It's a 4-man rush. We just turn the rusher loose on the backside. We don't bust an assignment. We just don't execute the block.
There, it looked like the fullback might have knocked the ball out of Pulaski's hand. It's on the ground, but he recovers. Loss of 1. They go to the pass, and they pick up a first down. So it's 1st and goal from the 2, and you really have an opportunity here to stop California. The defense played pretty well.
Nice job by Marcus Woods. Slanting across there, Salila Malapai forces Chapman back, and Marcus is there to make the tackle. Salila holds on with one hand as well. Now it's a 2nd down play. They run zigzag motion, come back, and Joe Farwell along with Darrell Smith make the tackle.
And then on 3rd down, you actually have this play well defensed, except at the last minute it looked like Darrell just slipped, got tangled up, and that left the tight end open for the touchdown.
We did. We tripped and fell down. Darrell Smith did, and he was covering him and fell down, and that was it. Easy touchdown.
Cal takes advantage of the turnover, and with the extra point by Bryan, leads it 7-0. So the Ducks get it back, but unfortunately on 3rd down, Salisbury is hit, and it's picked off by Barber, Wolf Barber, and he takes it back all the way for a score.
He actually had Ronnie Harris open. He was pressured. He threw it high over Harris's outstretched hands, and it went into Barber's, and he took it right in for the touchdown. And disaster early, which seems that we're becoming accustomed to, giving our opponent great opportunities early to score with our own miscues. Nice block there on the kickoff return, and Donovan Moore takes that one up for a good return.
23-yard return out to the 30-yard line. We see this one from down low as you go back to the ground. Sean Burwell gets 9, and it's 2nd down and 1, but we'll look at this one.
This is the next play to Juan Shedrick. Belly play right up the middle. We actually get good blocking at the point of attack. and pick up a first down. Here it is from the upstairs angle now, and you can see we had a good hole at the line of scrimmage.
So you decided to take the ball back on the ground, and as we cue up the tape here momentarily to get back to the regular action, you're trying to get something going. You've been hit by a couple of blows to the midsection, so to speak, and you're trying to stagger forward, and you actually move the ball a little bit in this series. And as we pick it up a little bit later, you're faced with a 3rd down and 10 at the 49.
And there's an opportunity for us to pick up the first down, and James Jesse does not hang on to the ball and ends up trapping it on the turf. This is ugly. There's no excuse for that kind of execution in the kicking game. And then we compound it because we just knock the ball forward. Instead of having it down on the 8, they get it on the 20. It's just very, very poor play on our part in the kicking game.
Russell White in the game now for California, and you can see not much running room for him.
Marcus Woods does a great job stuffing it up right at the point of attack. You can see number 69 at the bottom of the pile, and Batista steps up over the top.
3rd down and 5 for Cal. Pulaski trying to throw, but Terrell Edwards there along with Andy Connor.
Andy Connor forces Pulaski to pull the ball down. You can see 47 coming in, jumps, Pulaski pulls the ball down, and Terrell Edwards is there to get the sack.
Terrell playing in place of Ernest Jones, who sat out the game with a knee injury suffered in practice during the week. It's a remarkable play by both Salisbury and Burwell.
Just a check down over the middle. Burwell was actually on the ground after missing a block on the linebacker. Here we try a running play off the shotgun, and pretty ugly execution there.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter of play. California leading it 14-0. In the second quarter, Marcus Woods will be injured.
Marcus Woods was being blocked by the center, and the off guard came down and blocked him in the knees, and Marcus was operated on this morning. He'll be out at least 2 to 3 weeks. He had a torn lateral cartilage, and it was repaired this morning. Good pressure there, and here's another one of those plays that we have an opportunity to make, but we don't make it. We get our feet twisted a little bit. We don't jump very well, and you know, Muhammad's a 7'1" high jumper, and he didn't go up for that ball very well, and they complete it. And here's Russell White on a pretty nice run down to about the 2-yard line.
So they're down at about the 1-yard line. First play, they try White, and he gets spinned. I think that was Jerry Kent that was in the bottom of that pile.
Jerry Kent on the 99 defense, our goal line defense. Submarines under there. It's being held a little bit, but he still penetrated into the backfield and made the play.
The guy he was going against is about 345 pounds. And then White just does lunge in for the touchdown. And Brian comes in and tacks on the PAT, and Cal leads it for 21-0. Very similar to what happened a year ago down there. Just early in the game, they were at 21-0 last year.
Yep, only it got worse this time. Nice run there by Burwell. Very nice pass by Salisbury on the little screen pass out in the flat. You can see it from ground level here. Burwell swinging out to the left of the screen and catches the screen pass, has John Tattersall out there blocking, and Burwell sets the block up and cuts it back and picks up a real nice gain here.
A gain of 29 yards, so you've got the football for the first time in California territory at the 40. And disaster on the next play as the pass is intercepted by Marcella, and the drive is ended.
We compound. We also had illegal receiver downfield on that play. And another one that bounced Cal's way. Darrell Smith bats the ball up in the air, and
Treggs came down with the ball.
He sure did. He let Darrell know, too. Nice play by Eric Castle.
So it's 2nd down and 10. We'll try to go back to Russell White to fumble, and a blue shirt dives on top of it.
Knocked the ball loose, but we were unable to come up with it, and we forced Cal into a field goal situation in which they convert.
That ball was absolutely boomed through the uprights by Brian, and a 42-yard field goal makes it 24-0 midway through the second quarter. We pick up action as Oregon unable to move it. The Bears get it back. This is a 3rd and 4 play.
Muhammad Oliver was covering him man-to-man, kind of got turned around a little bit and then fell down.
So the Bears quickly score again, and unfortunately, As you mentioned, the errors just kept mounting at this point.
Good pass protection there, and Ronnie Harris actually had a step on the Cal defender in man-to-man coverage. If we throw the ball correctly, that's a big gain, and instead it's an interception.
But the defense comes in and stuffs Cal on a 1st and 15 play.
Good job by Malapai at the point of attack. Also, Romeo Bandison coming down and doing a good job.
So Oregon prevents Cal from moving the ball, and they get it back. We've got about 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Burwell on the sweep has to bounce it wide, but still picks up about 8.
You've got Kyle Croston in there now at quarterback. Burwell gets about 6 and a first down. 2nd and 10 here. Croston. This could have been a big, big gain.
Burwell just made the wrong cut. We had the sideline block, Tattersall's fannies to the sideline. He should have made the break to the outside, and he broke inside, and very little gain. And there was smooth sailing down the sideline on that play.
That's a shame as the drive then stalls on the incompletion. Cal now trying to run out the clock, and the defense trying to get the ball back. In fact, the defense will get it back, but not with a lot of time left on the clock. All right, we'll get into the third quarter that ends up being a scoreless quarter as California is leading 31-0 at the half. Kicking off, the Ducks will get the football to start the third quarter of play. Muhammad Oliver about a yard deep and takes it out to the 16.
Should have gone up the sideline, right down the right side, and he broke it back, and we get stuck with very bad field position. Again, Croston on the play-action pass finds Jeff Thomason for 11 yards and a first down.
Take a look at that again.
Little misdirection play here off the counter fake to Burwell. Croston rolls out. And a nice pass to Thomason. A little bit behind him. He wasn't able to turn it up. Probably would have gained another 3 or 4 yards if it had been thrown a little more out in front of him.
But then on 1st and 10 from the 27, Burwell hit behind the line of scrimmage, loses the ball, and recovered. But your defense came in right here and would not let Cal get into the end zone.
A real good job by the defense in a tough situation. Terrell Edwards and Romeo Bandison making the play on Chapman on the sideline. You can see they're trying to bounce this counter play outside, and Terrell Edwards comes off, misses the tackle, but spins him around and allows Romeo Bandison to make the play.
I guess this was the kind of play, especially in an adverse situation, that you were looking for.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could roll over and lay down and just get, about 80 points scored on us if we wanted to keep playing the way we were. Clipping on Cal on that play.
On a 3rd down, and you accepted the penalty, pushed him back a little further.
Pushed him back further, trying to get him in a little more difficult field goal range, and fortunately it worked.
As Brian hooks it, and it's no good. So the defense holds. Unfortunately, the offense couldn't move it, so Cal gets it back. They've got it at the 43-yard line. Also White again. Good pursuit.
Batista, Cota, and Terrell Edwards.
Try the screen to Holly. Nothing doing there.
See, it looks like we're getting a few more people around the ball, at least in the second half. Although our defense didn't play nearly as badly as our offense, we still did not play very inspired. We had a lot of people playing hurt, and it's starting to show. Lack of practice time doesn't help your execution on the defensive side either.
3rd and 9 there, the completion, but it is short of the first down. So the Ducks get it back. Burwell, longest run from scrimmage of the day. Picks up 14.
We had a hole. Amazing. Not great blocking, but at least it is a hole at the line of scrimmage, and Burwell broke it outside and picked up a good gain down the sideline.
So it is 2nd down and 1. Problems on the exchange throughout the day, it looked like.
We did, and Kyle runs over and picks it up. Kyle had a little trouble, obviously, with 3 exchange problems all occurring. There's a nice pass by Croston to Burwell, breaking up the field on man-to-man coverage.
It's a gain of 30.
You see from the low angle here, he shuffles over, feels a little pressure, and shuffles over and finds a passing lane and finds Burwell breaking up the field and lays the ball right in there.
So good throw and a good run by Burwell. You've got the ball now in Cal territory.
We don't pick up the blitz, and Croston is sacked.
Comes back, completes the pass that is caught by Ronnie Harris, gain of 11. So it's 4th down and 1 after the replay here.
We want the people to come in on this one, and we invite them in and then throw the pass underneath to Ronnie Harris, and Ronnie comes up one yard short of a first down. We elect to go for it, Todd, and again, execution is the major problem as we fumble the snap.
Just couldn't get the play started at all, and as a result, Cal takes over on downs. Also White back in there, but just nowhere to run.
Terrell Edwards jammed it up at the point of attack, and Romeo Bandison comes in to make the play. You can see Terrell does a good job playing the counter, forcing White to turn back inside to Romeo, and Terrell comes back in and gets in on and tackle himself.
So it's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the 45. Pulaski, and thrown incomplete.
Broken up by Muhammad Oliver.
3rd down and 11.
Little blitz by us, puts pressure on him. He alertly throws the ball away, not to one of our players, and doesn't get sacked. He throws the ball away. A big play here, nullified. Throw the same screen pass you saw a moment earlier, and Ronnie Harris just gets tripped up from behind. 61-yard gain called back because he was about a yard over the line of scrimmage when he caught the screen pass.
The fault is not really in your offensive linemen because they're supposed to have been where they were. We go into the 4th quarter, California leading 31-0, and the Bears strike quickly in the 4th period of play, scoring twice within a period of 30 seconds. The blocked punt recovered in the end zone by Jeff Jones for the score.
High snap, terrible blocking, results in a Cal touchdown. Terrible execution on our part in the kicking game.
And so the Ducks are kicking off, receiving the kickoff, I should say. And again, Donovan Moore, the man at the receiving end here. Pretty good return up the sidelines. Not a lot of room to work with. Looked like he might have been out of bounds when he was hit there, but no flag. And on 2nd and 10, Croston, feeling some pressure, flushed out and coughs up the football.
Did not protect the football, and we, one play, touchdown, that is ugly.
So California attacking on its point after. And now you've decided to make another change at quarterback. You brought in Doug Musgrave at this point. And Doug had the best statistical numbers on the day as far as the quarterbacks were concerned.
Pass is complete to Donovan Moore out in the flat.
3rd down and 3 from the 47. Musgrave threads the needle into Thomason.
Nice pass to Jeff Thompson. Pretty good pass protection there. Got a lot of new faces. Joe Baggio at center, Dan Mitchell at the right guard, pulling on the trap there. Nice run by Donovan Moore there.
Picks up 7 on a 3rd and 15, so it's 4th down and 8. Musgrave puts it right in there to Jones. Good for 9 and a 1st down.
Elected to go for it just because I wanted to try to get at least salvage something and not get shut out, although I turned down some field goal opportunities to go for the touchdown. Nice blocking here. Heath Howington on the pull. Heath started the game at right guard, did not play particularly well, broke down early in pass protection, finished the game fairly strong at the left guard spot. Donovan Moore picks up, fumbles, but was ruled down.
So then on 4th down and 5, Doug under pressure, just throwing it up and hoping something positive happens, and it is incomplete. So Cal gets it back. This is their 3rd tailback. Edwards gets a couple.
DJ Cabrera, redshirt freshman in there at the defensive end spot. Comes in, gets help from John Toma Piao, who hurt his knee on that play, re-injured the same knee that he had scoped about a month ago.
Edwards only gets 1. Slyman stopping him, and then a 3rd and 9. Almost. Chad Cota.
Juggling act that went the way the day went for us. We dropped the hot potato on the ground. Brian Brown makes a nice catch and takes it up the field. That's one thing that Brian does. When he gets the ball, he's going to take it up the field for you, north and south. Good play action. In fact, Jeff Allen gets a good block there. Musgrave has time to step up and throw. Brian catches a little high, but you can see he immediately is going up the field and picks up a nice gain.
Good block by Brandon Jumper downfield as well. 1st and 10.
Same play again. We get to see that because we didn't have many good plays, Todd. We like to show that one a lot.
So as we re-cue the tape and they find the correct play on the play-by-play sheet, Musgrave came in and a little different situation, obviously, than Salisbury had and obviously that Kyle Croston had, but he threw the ball on the money.
Nice throw there to Brian Brown over the middle. He did throw the ball. Again, the pressure was not on him, much like Salisbury's performance in the second half of the USC game. But a nice throw there, good protection, nice block by Obi Babs down there protecting Brian.
So then Musgrave, a little screen pass, it comes out to Clifford. He turns it upfield and gets about 6. And then on 2nd and 4, good throw, nice catch by Bobby Brothers.
Great catch by Brothers. Ball's thrown a little bit behind him. He has good hands. You can see the ball's thrown behind him here, and he goes back, turns his body completely around under pressure, makes the catch, and falls forward.
So now you've got the football in a spot where you'd like to get a touchdown. Clifford gets about 3. The next play we see is a 3rd and goal from the 5. Musgrave rolling off the fingertips of Vince Ferry and into the clutches of Keely Clifford.
Well, I guess if you go long enough in a game, one of the bounces is going to go your way, Todd. And here it is. Vince Ferry tips it to Clifford for the touchdown.
So you get on the board as Musgrave gets his first touchdown pass, and the point after is good, and that is the final play that we will see in this ball game. The final score, California defeating Oregon 45-7. Let's take a look at some of the post-game statistics that are rather bizarre, to say the least, in some instances. You see the first downs, 16-19. The rushing yardage definitely in California's favor there with the 5 sacks that they accumulated. Passing yardage, Oregon with the upper hand in that regard. They threw the ball on that last drive quite a bit as Musgrave was successful. Total offense, 276 to 374. Fumbles and the turnovers, that's really where this one was decided. The 3 interceptions by Cal. They also recovered 3 Oregon fumbles. The sacks, penalties, 16 penalties for 127 yards. It's unbelievable that could happen in a game in which that particular team won by a big margin. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that in a college football game. Let's take a look at some of the individuals. Brett Salisbury, Kyle Croston, and Musgrave, and then Pulaski for California. Another very good day for him. He's just very efficient as a quarterback, doesn't make many mistakes. Rushing yardage and receiving, as we take a look at the rushing first, Burwell, 37 yards. Chapman, the leading ball carrier in the game for California, with 94 yards on 14 attempts. And so the final result was a California victory, 45-7. We went into the locker room afterwards and asked some of the players their reaction to what happened and what's in store coming up next.
We're a team, and we're going to win and lose as a team. And if one phase breaks down, the other one's got to come back up and match that, make up for it. And there's no pointing fingers. You win and lose as a team. So that's all that counts.
You got to be a little bit down after a loss like this. I think we struggled so far this season. We started out on a pretty good note, then things kind of went bad for us the next 2 games, and we kind of rebounded a little bit last week, and now we're faced with another tough situation. I think you got to be down, but I think we also have to look at ourselves and see what we can do better, because that's the only way we're going to get better as a team.
It's not really the position you want to go into a game, I don't think, for anybody. It's just, I think it's good character, really. Just go in there and say, I'm just going to play hard and, just try to get in the end zone and don't think past that. You think of short-term goals, get first downs, and then you get it on that side of the field, you start, hey, let's put it in, and just hope things go your way.
We have all the talent to do, a lot of things. We're not getting it done. So who knows? We'll get it going.
We need that extra time to heal some guys, and plus we can use that extra time to get ready for Washington. it wouldn't be very beneficial for us. I don't think if it was a team that was New Mexico State or someone like that. But for Washington, I think this is the perfect time, not plus the injuries.
When you're used to winning, you know, when you have winners, you know, it just gets frustrating after a while. But each player's just got to look at himself and say, hey, you know, you got to look at yourself. You can't blame anybody else, point fingers.
Let's very quickly roll about 30 seconds of the highlights, and as we look at Washington, we start off with their defense, and when you talk about Washington's defense, it's an attacking defense, and that guy, number 90, Steve Entman, is the guy in the middle that makes it all happen.
Probably the best defensive lineman in college football. Just a real force, almost impossible to block. He shrinks the pocket. They bring pressure from the outside, strip the ball away. They're great at taking the football away, and that's a bad combination because we're real good at giving it up right now, Todd.
They've got a couple of running backs, Barry, and then this man, Bino Bryant, who's also an outstanding punt returner. Billy Joe Hobart came in to replace Mark Brunell, and they seemingly have everything going for them right now. They've had 2 consecutive shutouts, and they'll be very anxious to continue their winning ways if they can beat California. We'll take next week off, but we hope to see you in 2 weeks, and we'll have highlights of the Ducks against the Huskies. Good afternoon.
This is the Rich Brooks Show, featuring the Oregon Ducks.